A few years back, my friends and I stayed at Bally's Hotel in Las Vegas. Originally the MGM Grand, it had a tragic history. A fire in 1980 killed 85 people. The smoke from the fire traveled into the hotel tower, and even decades later, guests reported smelling smoke and experiencing strange occurrences. We weren't aware of these spooky reviews when we booked. We just saw a great deal for rooms that weekend. On the second night, after a few casinos and dinner, we returned to the room to regroup before heading back out. After pre-gaming with some drinks, we went to Omnium nightclub. The liquor had kicked in by the time we got there, and my memory became hazy. I vaguely recall the dance floor and talking to my friends, but blacked out soon after. When I left the club, I was alone and somehow made it back to our room on the 17th floor. Sitting on the edge of the bed, I felt the room spinning when I heard a child coughing outside the door. Checking the peephole, I saw no one. Later, as I tried to sleep, the coughing returned. Then the smoke alarm went off, flashing a red light. Each blink illuminated a figure, a boy, standing in the corner of the room, facing the bed. I froze, too terrified to move. On the fourth blink, the boy disappeared and the alarm stopped. Heart racing, I stayed awake until my friends returned, not telling them what I'd seen. The next day, I researched the hotel's history and found that others had reported seeing and hearing a boy coughing on the 17th and 18th floors. Needless to say, I was relieved our stay was only 3 nights. In 2018, my friends and I went to the Electric Daisy Carnival, EDC, in Las Vegas. Excited and nervous, I decided to try Molly for the first time, encouraged by my friends. At first, everything was euphoric. The music, the lights. But soon the crowd and chaos overwhelmed me, and I realized I'd lost my friends. Panicked, I wandered aimlessly until a man approached me. He seemed normal, dressed casually, and offered to help me find my friends. Trusting him in my vulnerable state, I followed him to a quieter area where he claimed to call Jess, one of my friends. He told me they had left for Airbnb and suggested we take an Uber there. On the way to the exit, his questions about my plans, my name, and even my number fell off. Something about him seemed wrong, but my mind was too cloudy to think clearly. In the Uber he'd called, the feeling of unease grew. When I told him I felt sick and needed to use the restroom, he had the driver pull over at a gas station. I ran inside, locked myself in the bathroom, and waited shaking. When I finally came out, the Uber and the man were gone. I borrowed a phone from someone at the gas station and called Jess. She and the others were still at the festival, frantically looking for me. I rejoined them hours later, shaken. The man had never called Jess, and I still wonder what his true intentions were. When my friend Dom turned 21, he organized a group trip to Las Vegas with our closest friends. We booked rooms at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino, just a short 5-minute walk from the Strip. There were 6 of us in total, split across 3 rooms with 2 people sharing each room. I was sharing mine with Joey. Our flight landed around 5 p.m., so by the time we unpacked and settled in, it was close to 7. Feeling hungry, we decided to hit In-N-Out Burger for dinner, a novelty for us East Coasters. After that, we wandered around until we ended up at the Bellagio's massive casino. There, we naturally split into smaller groups. Joey and I found ourselves at the slot machines, not to gamble much, but to enjoy the free drinks that the cocktail waitresses offered. Meanwhile, 3 others headed to the blackjack tables, and the 6th member of our group disappeared somewhere. After a while, we joined our friends at the blackjack tables. An hour passed, and we decided to leave the casino and head to Lily Bar and Lounge. On the way, I did a quick pat down on my pockets and had that sinking realization: my wallet was missing. I retraced my steps to the Bellagio, desperate to find it, but came up empty-handed. My final hope was the hotel room. Back at the Gold Coast, I used Joey's key card to get into our room. After a frantic search that turned up nothing, I collapsed on the bed, defeated. Then, I remembered the front desk. I called and asked if anyone had turned in a wallet. The worker asked my name, and then something strange happened. She mentioned speaking to me just 5 minutes earlier, saying I'd asked for my room number. That wasn't possible. I'd been gone for hours. A cold dread set in. I hung up and glanced around the room. The closet was empty, but the bathroom door was closed. Taking a deep breath, I swung it open. Nothing, except a shadow behind the shower curtain. Terrified, I ran out and called hotel security. Within minutes, 2 guards arrived. They entered the room and found a man standing in the middle of it, wearing a mask and holding my wallet. He tricked the front desk into giving him our room number. The police arrested him, and I got my wallet back. While no one was hurt, the experience was a chilling reminder of how dangerous the situation could have been if I had confronted him alone.